We're going to be starting off a new chapter with this lesson. This is a lesson on reading picture graphs. So when you look at this first page, you'll see several boxes, and underneath each column of boxes are some cubes. You'll see a blue cube and you'll see a green cube. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at the bottom. It also gives the directions to read the following problem. There are 2 green cubes and 4 blue cubes. How many more blue cubes are there than green cubes? Well, what we are going to do is we're going to fill in each box above either the blue or green cubes to see how many more we can get. So if I'm going to go over here and I'm going to choose green, and there are 2 green cubes. So I'm going to draw 2 circles above the green, and then above the blue, starting at the bottom, I'm going to draw 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I'm going to look. Well, when I look at the first row, I see both a blue and a green. Go up one row, I see a blue and a green. Go up another row, I see a blue but not a green. So I'm going to draw a line right here to show where they're different. Now we want to find out how many more blue there are than green. Well, we know below that black line we have the same number. Above the black line there's different. So how many extra or more blue cubes do we have? Here's 1. Here's 2. So we know we have 2 more blue cubes. We're going to continue looking at picture graphs on the back side of this page. So if you have it at home, go ahead and turn it over. You should see this page. Now there's a lot on here. We're going to just focus up at the top. Okay, so when we look at the top, it says in that little box right here, or circle, it says a picture graph uses pictures to show information. That's the same thing that we looked at on the front. We were getting information using those pictures of cubes. So when I look at the purple box at the top and I see this chart, this graph, at the top it says children at the playground. So everything in this graph is going to give us information about children at a playground. We have swings and we have slide. So those are our 2 areas at the playground that we're going to get information about. So when I look at the swings, when I look right here at the swings, I see a picture of a child, another kid, another one, and another one. When I look at the slide, I see a picture of a child and another child. And underneath here it says each stick figure, drawing, picture, whatever you want to call it, stands for 1 child. So when I look at swings, I'm going to count how many I see. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what I like to do is I like to use that number 4 and put it over here at the end. 4. Now let's count how many are at the slide. 1, 2. So again, I'm going to write that number here, 2. So I always have that information. Now let's look down at the questions. The first question says, there are blank children on the, that's a picture of the swings. Well, how many? 4. So I'm going to trace my 4. Now I'm going to look at the next one. There are blank children on the slide. There's my picture, slide. I have 2. So I'm going to write a 2. Then it says the last part, there are more children on the blank. We have to figure that out. Well, we can do the same thing that we did on our other graph, and I can look at it. There's 1 on each of those. There's 1 at the slide and the swings here. There's 1 at the swings, but not anymore on the slide. So I'm going to draw a line here to help me think, all right, that's where it changes. So again, there are more children on the, well, where do we have extra children or more children? The swings. So I'm going to write swings. Now I'm going to look down at the bottom section down here. I have a new graph. This one says our favorite activity at the fair. And we can choose animals and rides. And again, each drawing or each stick figure stands for one child. So I'm going to first look, okay, animals. How many animals? How many kids want to go to the animals? Not how many animals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to write, I'm going to erase that. That's a little too big. Let's try it again. 5. Now let's count how many want to go to rides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to write a 7. Now I can remember how many want to go to each. So let's read the directions. Use the picture graph to answer the question. So we're going to use this picture graph. We're going to use our numbers. 5 want to see animals. 7 want to see rides to help answer these. Number 1, which activity did more children choose? And we have to circle. So which one had more children wanting to go? Was it animals or rides? Here's a picture for animals. Here's for rides. Well, let's see. 5 for animals, 7 for rides. 7 is bigger than 5, so we're going to circle rides. Now let's look at number 2. How many children chose animals? Here's animals. There's my answer, 5. Now let's look at number 3. How many children chose rides? Here's rides. Go all the way to the end. 7. So I'm going to write a 7. And the last question. How many fewer children chose animals than rides? Fewer children. Remember, the word fewer means less. So again, we're going to go through and figure out where our matches or where our numbers change. So if I first look here, we have 1 for each of those. We have a match. We have a match. We have another match. Here's another match. Oh, no more matching here. So I'm going to draw a line here to help remind myself. That's where it changes. So now we want to know how many fewer picked animals than rides. So how many matches do we not have, or how many are there missing from animals? Here's 1, here's 2. So we know then that there are 2 fewer children. We could also think to ourselves, there are 7 on the rides, 5 want to see animals. 7 minus 5 equals 2. So all of our answers, everything that came down here, all of that came from our graph. So we're using the information on our graph to help answer the questions, and the answers are right there. We are going to go ahead. If you have your papers at home, pull out your second paper. It's going to look like this one. We have another picture graph, and we have more questions. The first thing we need to do is look at the title of our picture graph. What we drink for lunch. Our choices are milk, juice, water. I'm going to go through and I'm going to count how many children picked each one. So for milk, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to write the number 8 at the end. Now I'm going to look at juice. How many picked juice? 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to write the number 3. And the last one, water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what number am I going to write? 5. Now I can use the information from our picture graph and our answer for each total to answer these questions. Again, each one of those is one child. Use the picture graph to answer the question. How many children drink? What's that a picture of? If I'm not sure, go back up here. There it is, milk. So how many drink milk? 8. 8 children. Number 6. How many children in all, oh, there's an important key words, in all, drink juice and water? So we have to think, okay, we need to know how many drink juice, how many drink water. Well, if I go up and look at my numbers at the end of my graph, juice, I have 3, so I'm going to write a 3. And then water, I have 5. So I'm going to write a 5, and the word and makes me think addition. 3 plus 5. Well, if I'm not 100% sure what 3 plus 5 is, I can count the people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, 3 plus 5 equals 8. I'll put a little equal sign there. Okay, so we needed to make sure that we remembered in all. That gave us a key word to remember we are adding. Now let's look at number 7. How many fewer, key word, how many fewer children drink water than milk? Remember, fewer means less, a smaller number. So we're looking at water and we're looking at milk. So let's see. We have water, which is 5. So how many fewer drink that water? Oh, I'm going to put that in a different spot. That's too close. So we know we have 5. And then milk. We have 8. So we have the numbers 5 and 8. And I know it's saying how many fewer or how many less children drink the water. So we can do this a couple of ways. I'm going to use a different color here. We can say, here's where the water ends. I'm going to draw that all the way up. Now we're not paying attention to the juice, so we don't need to worry about this one. How many are we missing here? How many picked milk, but we don't have someone drinking water? Here's 1. Here's 2. Here's 3. So we have 3 fewer children that drink water than milk. Okay, I'm going to try and erase this so that I can see my chart again. All right, now let's look at number 8. How many more, keyword, children drink milk than juice? All right, we've got another key word here. How many more drink milk than juice? Well, if I look up at my graph, I know 8 drink milk, 3 drink juice. So again, I'm going to go up here to my graph. Here's my juice. That's where it ends. And my milk is up here. So how many more are drinking milk then juice. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more are drinking milk. And I could also make that into a minus sign. The 8 milk drinkers minus the 3 juice drinkers that are the same leaves us with 5. We've done a lot so far. We're going to try to do a challenging one down here at number 9. How many children in all, keywords, in all, drink milk, juice, and water? So what we can do is, we know we're adding all of these together. We can make that into a a 3-number addition problem. So I'm going to look at this and I'm going to make a choice here. I know if I do 3 and 5 together, that makes 8. And now I know that 8 plus 8, that's the doubles. 8 plus 8 equals 16. So my answer is 16. We are going to skip over this one for right now. We don't need to worry about that one right now. We're going to go ahead and move to the next page. Here's the back. All right, we have a new graph, a new picture graph. This one is called our favorite animal at the zoo. We have zebras, lions, and seals. Our first job, after we know that each one stands for one child, is to count how many picked each one of these for their favorite. For zebras, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what am I going to write at the end? 5. Let's check the lions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What am I going to write? 8. And let's check our seals. 1. Just one person. All right, now we're going to look at our questions. We have to write an equation, a number sentence. Write a number sentence to solve the problem. How many children chose zebras and seals all together? All together is one of our key words. We're going to be adding. So let's look here. Zebras. How many zebras do we have? 5. We're adding plus our seals. We have 1 equals, well, what is 5 plus 1? 5 plus 1 equals 6. So 6 children. Let's look at number 12. How many more children chose lions than seals? How many more? So we're comparing those. Well, how many chose lions? 8. How many chose seals? 1. So we are going to be subtracting when we're trying to compare. So we have 8 lions minus the 1 seal equals 8. Take away 1, jumping back 1 is 7. So 7 more children picked lions than seals. We are going to cross this one out for now. And let's look at number 14. It says to use the graph at the top. How many children chose lions? Well, we can go up here. Lions, 8. So I can write an 8 in that box. Now, we're going to go ahead and try and go back and solve this hard one. This is a super challenging hard one. Let's look. Number 13. How many more children chose lions than zebras and seals all together? So right here, first we need to look at this. Zebras and seals. How many zebras and seals all together did we have? our answer's up here, 6. And how many more chose lions than those 6 right there? Well, we're going to use subtraction like we did on this one. So let's see. We need to say, how many lions did we have? We had 8 minus the 6 zebras and seals all together equals, if I have 8 and I take 6 away, I will have 2 left. So 2 more children picked lions than seals and zebras together. If you have any more questions than what I've shown you here, then you need to contact your teacher when you're completing your assignment.